All right, so now that we have the arms and the waist created, let us move to the next part. So I'm just going to turn on my breakdown for us to know what we're going to do. So we're going to need a circle here, and pardon me, this is not a perfect breakdown. I just needed to know where everything was going to be. So I'm going to use a guide. Let me turn on the guide, right? So based on the guide that we have, you're going to have one circle here, one circle here, another. These are just going to serve as our rotation points. So like we did with the hands, we're going to create the circles first to use them as rotation point, then we move on to the rest of the hands. So let us start. But first of all, I'm going to turn this off so I can actually see, and I'm going to turn U2 off. I don't need the guide right now. Yeah, I think that's all I need. So like we always do, let us create the various drawing. So we are going to do the right side, so R, then make it leg up. I'm gonna add, create another one, R leg down, and the final one will be our feet. So that the R is just standing for the right, our feet. So we have them, and like I do always, I'm gonna spread it, create pegs for all of them. Make sure all of them are working on the same parent peg. And as usual, I'm going to create a composite. So this will be our foot. This is going to be our leg comp. So the right leg comp. Set it to pass through. Then I'm going to plug in everything. So this is going to contain most of the information for the right leg. Okay. Let me drag this a little bit closer to the center. There. So I'm going to drag my cable and plug it just behind everything. So looking at this, I think the feet, let us put the feet behind everything. Right. So we have this. So we're gonna start creating the various parts, and just like we did with the hands, make sure my snapping tool is turned on. Just like we did with the hands, we're gonna create the circle first. You're not gonna get it perfectly, so make sure you're working on the line art. Then we try and place it somewhere close to as perfect as we can. Right. So now that we have this, I think it's not good enough. Can we just keep editing till it's kind of almost there, right? I think this is okay. So I'm just gonna select the drawing, paste it, make sure it's on the same level, then I bring it down. So I'm just using the same element to create the other part. Alright, so as closely as we can to the center. So now we have them, right? So let us join the lines using our polyline tool. Oh, sorry. We pick it from the center to the center. So center to center. That could be an intro for a truck. Anyway, I'm going to go to my drawing view to check everything. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is right on the center so I can have a clean cut when I'm cutting it using the cutter. We don't have to have double takes when we are cutting. We just want to do it once and for all. Alright, I think that's okay. So like we did with the hands, I'm going to copy the next. Like we did with the hands, if we forgot to bring in the pivot, all we have to do is select everything that is not part of the first circle, right? We're going to cut it. I selected and cut. Select the drawing, then place our pivot using the translating tool. Now using the script, now the pivot is where it needs to be. So I'm going to go back into that part and paste the rest of it. So now if I should use the translate tool, the pivot is right there, and if I move it, you have a perfect pivot. So now I can go back into the drawing, and like we did with the other parts of the hand, I'm going to copy this because we are going to need it for the lower part of the leg. I come back to the drawing, then I start using my cutter to get this clean shape, right? Alright, so as I'm here, let me just create color art for me. Then we move to the next. So before we move to the next one, let us come to the overlay that we just created. Make sure we selected it. Now we're gonna cut it. Right, we come to the line art of the lower leg. Clearly there was another mistake here. So instead of me having to copy it, I'm just gonna change the name. So this will be leg up. Just make sure you're working on the right layer when you're drawing, right? So let's make this one be down. Alright, so I have it copied and I'm gonna paste it, so it's just exactly where I need it to be. And with the feet, I think because you're going to be doing some deformation, I'm just gonna create a straight line along the feet. We're gonna do some deformation, so getting this shape wouldn't be difficult when you're using the deformation. So I'm gonna pick it from the center to the foot, and I'll do the same for this. All right, so we have this for the feet. Okay, so if you go to our drawing to check, this is what we have. First, let's check if everything is right in the center, so we don't have to do a double take. And like we forgot to do in the previous video, like we forgot to do in the previous part, we forgot to place the pivot again. It keeps escaping me. I'm going to do like I did. I'm going to cut this, come to my drawing using my transform tool, and I'm going to use a script to place it just in the center. Then I'm going to paste the drawing back, right? So now that I'm in the drawing, making sure that it is placed right in the center, right? I'm going to make sure it's placed right in the center. So this is what we have. And try it. Yeah, I think this okay. We can cut. I'm gonna keep cutting. Every unnecessary part has to go. All right, so like I did, I'm gonna create a color art from this. So I have that. So now we move to our feet, and like we did for the hands, this will just be a placeholder. We might put in some shapes for the drawing substitutions later. So with the feet, also working on the line art, this is supposed to be where it's going to rotate from. So try and place it right in the center. All right, so since that will be our center, and let us draw the rest of the foot, right? Oh, this is a long foot. Luckily this is not a final work. These are just placeholders for you. You might have a different shape of feet that you want to use, so you can just follow this, and when we're working later on trying to do the drawing substitutions, we'll do that. All right, so with that in place, let us do the cutting. And like we did, I'm gonna copy everything. So this is not the best way to do. What we were supposed to do is, once we created this, we were supposed to select that drawing and use a script to place it in the center. Then we come and do the rest of the drawing, but it keeps escaping me. For what reason, I do not know. All right. Okay, so all right, that's for the feet. I come to my drawing tab, make sure everything is in the center so I can have a nice clean cut. Then I select my cutter and I do the cutting. Right, I think it's almost okay. I don't think I have any. Yeah, I think it's okay this way. You know what, if you have something that you can move, you can easily use the contour editor, select on that line and just drag it a little bit back, and you have it perfectly. So like we did with the other ones, I'm going to select and create a color art. So now let us do the coloring for all of them. Right, So first I'm gonna, since I'm working on shoe, come to the color art, then I select the color for the shoe, I'll fill it in. Simple. So now I'm gonna go to the pants, that's the color for the trousers. So I'm just gonna fill in these colors by selecting. Alright, so let me turn off the reference, we don't need this anymore, and turn off the guide, we don't need this anymore. Alright, so now this is what we have. So like we did for the hands, let us start auto patching these shapes. So you can either go to your library if you have it saved in there, right click to open it up, go to name it as tools. I can bring in the auto patch. So now we know we are auto patching the upper leg by the lower part of the leg, right? So that's it. Just cross patch, and like we did for the like we did for the hands too, we want to get that crease, that line crease when we move it. So we are going to do it for both sides. So I'll come to the upper part, select my line art, and I'm going to copy it. Select my line art, then I'm going to copy it over onto the overlay. Then I'm going to delete these edges, right? That way, if we should move this, we have that, right? So this is for when the legs when we are looking at it from behind. So let us do the same thing for the down part. So I select that, make sure select everything on the line art, copy, paste it on the overlay, go to my drawing so I can see it clearly. Okay, sorry. Then I can do that. So if I rotate this, if it's behind, that's what it looks like. If it's in front, we have the line also passing in front. Alright, I don't think we're gonna do anything to the foot now. So let us just create the hierarchy that we have for the hands too. I'm just gonna connect the feet to we change the name here. So this is a down. So I'm gonna change the name. This is for the up peg. So I'm gonna connect the feet to the lower part of the leg so it moves together, and I'll do the same. And like we did with the hands, let me create a different master peg for the leg. So this would be the right leg master. So this is connected to this. That way this can move. You can select this independently without having to drag everything across. So we just need to copy the pivot information of this. So I open out the properties of this. Then I'm going to open out the properties of the master leg. I'm just going to copy the X and Y information. And just like that, it's going to copy the same pivot point, right? So now we have this. So let us turn back. Let me create a backdrop for this before. So I'm going to select everything, go to insert, backdrop, change the color to something I don't think we've used. I don't think we've used this yet. So this will be the right leg. Okay, so we have our right leg perfectly. So let me just turn on the waist so we can actually see. Alright, so now that we are done with this, we want to get rid of this. And we are going to do the same thing to this. So let us start with the lower part. So we have to auto patch this, the waist by the you have to auto patch the waist by the upper part of the leg, right? So I'm going to introduce a composite to the waist because I want everything in this to be cut by that, right? So alright, everything works. So what I'm going to do is cross auto patching. Yes. and I think that works. So let me just move it. You always have to try and test your rig a little bit to check if everything works. And I think this should be okay. Let's see if we bring it in front. Let me bring it in front and let us do an auto patch for that one too. Okay, so I'm gonna reset it, but let us create another patch for that one too. So I'm going to create a pathway onto the auto patch here on the upper leg as we did with the hand. So I'm going to copy and paste the auto patch, plug it in, and since we are going to be cutting it on the line, we already have a cutter there, so I'm just going to copy and paste the cutter, place it back on the line out, and I'm going to do this. That way, if I should bring this leg in front, there's something not working. Check this out. So the reason why we have this line working here is because we created a line arch here. So I'm going to take that one out. I'm just going to cut it by the line only. So now we have this, right? So it works. Just make sure you test your rig a little bit. So if I move this, yep, it works. Alright, I don't think it's gonna ever go that far, so I think that's okay. So let me just select this and reset. Alright, so we are gonna do the auto patch for the hands too. So we are gonna auto patch the torso by the sleeve, right? So let us go to where the sleeve is. Just gonna copy an auto patch from here, put it in my sleeve, and this is my torso. I think we already have an auto patch, so I drag my cable, create a path for it. Alright, so I'm gonna do the same process. Copy the cutter, then I'm gonna place it right here. Now that we connected our sleeve to this, to the other patch of the torso front, we can see that it's cutting, right? But if we should move our torso, if we should move our hands, right now it's behind everything. So assuming we bring it in front, alternate plus down, that's what we get. The cutting isn't really working because we didn't do the cross auto patches. So I'm gonna bring the torso and connect it here, right? So as you can see, everything about the line art of the sleeve is being cut. So we're gonna do it as we did with the previous part. I'm gonna go to my sleeve, go to the line art of my sleeve, copy it. I need to copy the whole thing. Then I'm going to paste it onto the overlay. So I'm just gonna cut some parts, and yeah. Okay, so the reason why we are having this is because the line art of the hand, I think, wasn't really placed properly. So if you're having this problem, if it was placed properly, you wouldn't see cuts, it would just overlap it. But if you're having this problem, let us just go to the line art of the upper arm, because this part is never going to show. It's always going to be covered by the sleeve. So let us go to the line art, and we are just going to delete a portion of it, right? So if I should move the hand around, we don't seem to have any problem, right? So I think we have a little problem here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sleeve, go to the drawing, still gonna copy this part, come to the overlay, paste it, but I don't need it fully, so I'm just gonna delete some parts of it because I need that curvature to be covered. So let me take it back and see what we get. I think, yeah, okay, I want to delete a little bit more of this. I just need it just around here. This wasn't properly planned. So now if I reset the hand, it goes back. Alright, so now that it goes back, we need something to be showing here, a line to be showing here. So that will be on the torso. So let me go to the torso, right? Copy the details of the torso from the line art area. I copy it, I go to the overlay in my drawing. Okay, I go to the overlay in my drawing, I paste it. Then I'm just going to cut the parts I don't need. Yeah, let me just take this out. Alright, so you might be wondering why it didn't work. That's because I think there's a port here that's not connected, right? Yeah, so the overlay is not connected, it's empty. So let me put it down and voila, it works. Okay, so now that we have these, let us just test it out, make sure it works. If it's at the back, yep, everything works. And reset, try it for the legs too. Perfect. All right, so like we did for the hand to get this kind of curvature, right? Let us do something similar to the feet, right? So let us go to the leg, and I'm going to add, something here. So Control R, that will be, let's make it feet back. I'm gonna add enclose, create a peg for it, make sure it's sharing it by the parent peg. Then I'm going to introduce it right in the middle here. So we know that this is definitely going to be moving with the lower part of the foot, so I'm just going to place it right here. Alright, so working on the line art, let us just create a shape for that part. So I'm just going to go into the lower part of the leg because I just need this line. I'm just going to copy it, paste it on this side, and using my contour editor, I'm just going to create a little bit of a curvature because we need that arc. And I'm just going to copy, paste, make sure it's in line. Then I'm going to flip it horizontally to create that curvature. Let me just check my drawing, make sure it is good enough. Alright, so I think this should be good enough. Let us just make sure everything closes. Let me merge these pencil drawing. Alright, so this is merged, and I'm going to create a color art out of it. So let us fill it with color. So like we did with the hands part, we picked a darker shade of the shirt. So I'm just going to pick a darker shade of this, and I'm going to just name it, let's say, hands tone. Alright, so we have that for the color. Right, so we have that for the color. I'm gonna fill it in. Alright, so I think the placement, the feedback, it has to be behind everything. Yes, so that is it. Alright, so now that everything is working, we're gonna create some controls for this, for the hands and the leg, right? So there's another way we can do it, which is quite different from the way that we did the selectors for the eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, how many selectors should I create? So one for the sleeve, one for the upper arm, one for the lower arm, and I don't think I'll create anything for the hands. The hands I might just create a master controller with all the um, rotations in it, or maybe I'll create four. Let's see. So what we are going to introduce now is, let me try and arrange this properly. I always like my various stuff to be on different conversation, so I'm going to put in a different conversation in the leg, the right leg that we created. Change the name to, say selectors, because that's where all my selectors are going to be housed. So what I'm going to introduce is what we call an OGL control. So what this does is it works like the selectors that we created, right? So whichever part that you need to create the selector from, you drag it in into the controller position and put this in. Let's go into the properties. You can say, oh, there's nothing happening. That is because it is showing, but it is placed behind it. It's placed behind it in the z depth. So one figure that it helps bring it in front is always 007. So with Toon Boom, it knows the difference between F and B, right? So front is for, F is for front and B is for back. So once I make it front, just pay attention. As you can see, that's it, because there's a color that we chose and there's a shape that we choose for that part. And I think this just a little bit too big. Let's make it 0.2 for the size. So I'm just going to move it from the position it properly with the X and Y like this. So we drag up or down. I just need it just around that central part of the, yes. Do I need just a little bit lower? Okay, so if it's lower, then that means it has to go. So oh, that's too much. All right, so we have this. So what this happens is whenever I click this, oh, ha, like I said, always make sure you know what you're working with. This selector is supposed to be for the leg, and see where I place it. So let us go back. I thought we were working on the sleeve, so this is actually being done on the leg. So let us just position it. So the y-axis deals with the up and down, the x-axis deals with the north, west and east, right? So I'm just going to bring it down, then I'm going to move it within that position. So whenever I click on this, I think I want to bring it just around where the pivot is, right? Let's use the pivot as a guide. Alright, so 0.6 is a sweet spot. I think I want to change it. Since it's blue, I want something that's quite obvious. I'm going to make it white. Nah, white seems like there's a hole in our drawing. I think this would do. So we just created this. Let me just increase the size of this so we can have enough space. So we just created a handle for one part of the leg. So there's the OpenGL mode view. So now you can see, but if you go to the render view, it's gone, right? So let us do that for the other part. So I'm going to copy and paste. But first of all, I think the name is too long, so let us just reduce the name to just OpenGL. So copy and paste. Have it right here. So this is going to be connected to the down part of the leg. So let us just change the position to the down part. So using this, I'm going to bring it down. Just select the leg so we can find where the pivot is and try to put it right there. I think 5 should work, or 7. Alright, 7. So I'm going to change the shape of this. Let us make it a triangle, right? So I can actually tell the difference. So whenever I select this, it straight up goes to the lower part of the leg whenever I select this. So we are going to do the same for the hands too. I'm doing this now because we are going to kind of clone or duplicate or paste special these like we did for the eyes. So I want to do it all here so I don't have to redo it when I clone or copy the hands to the other side, right? So I think we have that. So let us start with the hands. And like we did, I'm going to create a composite for my handles. So this will be arm selector. Sorry. So this will be arm handle. Pass through. And then I'm going to add it in front of everything. So now I can introduce in the OpenGL that I copied. So how many do we need? We need 1, 2, 3. Let us make it 3. We might do it 4, but for now let us make 3. Oh, let me just work on the first one so I can actually change the position. So I'm going to copy the sleeve. Because we copied it from the foot, it's going to be showing the same position as the first one. So let us go in. So I think it's down here. We need to bring it up. Okay, so we need to bring it up. That's the triangle one that we just copied. Alright, so keep. I'm going to have to put it to the side. Alright, so I think that's okay. And everything with the arm, I think we need to change it to, let's make it a bright yellow. And the arms are going to use, should I make them squares? Yeah, let us make them diamonds and squares. So this is for the upper sleeve. So whenever I select it, is a sleeve that we'll be working on, right? So we're gonna copy, paste. I think we need 3, so let us just copy the 3. Alright, so we do the same for the upper arm. I'm gonna copy the upper arm, drag the cable to the upper arm. So now I'm going to have to change the position, bring it down, and down. So I think that is okay. Let me just change it to, I think the size is slightly too big. I think 1 should do. Alright, so we do the same for the lower arm too. Where are you? Take it, bring it down. We're using our pivot as some sort of guide. Alright, so I think that I just use circle for this. I think the size is the size okay. Size feels a bit too big. I'll make it 1. Yeah, it's something that we can easily. Let's make it 1.5. Okay, I think 2 will do, because I need it to be something that we can easily click on. Right? Do we need a handle for the hands? I'm not going to create it, but you can create it if you want to. It looks a bit too complicated for me now. So now that we have this, right, let us do the cloning. We're going to need some space. I'm just going to increase the size of this. Let me out of it. Just gonna move it here. No, because I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create backdrops in the backdrop, right? So I'm going to select all this, right? Go to insert, then I'm going to insert the backdrop. So that is the right leg. So what was that? Okay, so we have a backdrop within the backdrop. Let me just increase the size of this so we can place it properly. All right, so I'm going to select everything in this. So we are going to, what we are going to do is we're going to copy this and paste special, right? Paste special. Once you come here, make sure you check on the create new columns and reuse existing element. We don't need to copy the drawings, the timing, so we just need is a drawing. So go to paste special, make sure that is there, and okay. So we have this. I'm going to put it in here with it selected still. Go to backdrop, and that will be the left leg, right? So we have it, and like we did for the other part, gonna create one big composite for all of them. So this will be leg master or our leg comp, right? That's true. So I'm just gonna slide it right here using my alternates so I can bring it right into the center. Alright, so whenever you have a cable like this, you can actually come a little bit closer to it. Press P and click on it. Hold down P and click on it. It's going to create this point for you, this waypoint, so you can actually click and drag, and somehow helps with the arrangement. As you can see, this helps. Alright, so now that we have this, we know that we have two legs on one side, and that's not what we need, right? And as I did with the eyes, I always like to control if there are two parts that I think need to move together. What I like to do is create a master peg for them so that they can share the same peg. So I'm going to create a master peg for them. So this will be our leg master. Alright, so both of them will share that peg. That way, if I select this, I'm controlling both of them. So like we did for the eyes, we are going to introduce in a static comp. Well, since we already have a static comp here, I'm going to copy this from the static comp. Come here, paste it. So I'm just going to place it right above the master peg, just beneath the leg master, right? And oh yeah, because we already created some properties for the ears, it just picked, so we already have it. So now the only thing we need to do is look at where the holes are and fill it in. So with the right leg, we can clearly see it is something is coming in from the waist, so we're just gonna have to connect it. And what else isn't connected? And I think yes, we have to introduce this to the auto patch of the, so I'll create another pathway, and I'm gonna go in, create another auto patch, color, perfect. So now we have, is there anything that I need to do? I think that is all. Alright, so now we have both legs. Let me just move the pivot down using my translator. I'm holding down the shift so that it goes in the line. Alright, so now if I select the master, I control both legs. As you can see, I control both legs. Let me shift the pivot slightly. Alright, so that's a pivot for that. I think I will put it in the middle. Alright, so we have this for our legs. Let me place it. So we started off with just one tiny drawing, and now see, we are almost there. Alright, so just as we did for the legs, we're gonna do the same for the hands, so I need some space because this is going to take some space, right? So I'm going to open this up. All right, try and arrange this a little bit. So we create a group, backdrop within a backdrop. I think I need more space. So I think it's the same color, so I think I'm gonna change this to something else. So this will be the right arm. I'm feeling sleepy. Let me sleep. All right. So just like we did with the just like we did with the other parts, so just like we did with the leg, I'm gonna select everything here, Control C, and when I right click, you see something like Control Paste again. It says again because you've already set up your properties for the first control paste special. So paste special again, it's going to use the same properties from the first paste special. So it's right here, and as I did with the but I'm gonna create a new comp for this, so that will be our arm comp pass through, and just like we did, I'm gonna slide it right here. Where is this? I think this is gonna cause a bit of a confusion, so let me just create a waypoint and drag it out so it's not going through my work. All right, same with you. It's always good to try and arrange the drawing layers. It's gonna help you. All right, so there's the arm comp. So now we clearly know we have two hands there. So like we did, let us create a backdrop for this again. It says backdrop. I think I'm gonna pick the same color I'm using for that. So this will be our left arm. All right, just a little bit more to get some space. All right, so just as we did, this time is with the total. So we're just gonna pay attention to the sleeve part. As you can see, there are openings that the torso was cutting. So I'm just gonna drag the cable and plug it in. But first, let me just create the master peg for this. All right, so Control P. I think where the pivot is, I'm okay. So I'm just gonna put this in. Then I'm gonna go copy our static again, since it worked perfectly. Come, paste it, and drag it just above the first. And that. So we just have to fill in the cutting. So whatever was cut here, we just have to connect the cables because the ports are already there. So I'm gonna connect this. And what else was connected? I think the sleeve was also connected to the other part here. So I would have to connect the sleeve and create a point here. So there's another pathway. There's a lot of cutters. Connect you, and I'm gonna connect. Where's my cutter? Oh, down there. What is not working? What is not? Something seems to be not working. Is it plugged in twice somewhere? Yeah, I think the torso is plugged in twice somewhere. So let me take this out. Ha! See, it was plugged in twice. That's why I was getting that problem. Alright, so I think everything should be working. So let us try. That's what we have selected. I made selected and I wasn't using it. How wonderful. So I'm just gonna try and position, just do something weird with it, make sure everything is working, make sure it's not, whatever you do on this side is not being duplicated or down to the other side. So let's go to our render view, and yeah, I think that's it. So in the next video, let me just reset everything. Reset my hands. So okay, so reset. And where's the legs to? You need to be here. Reset. So in the next video, we are going to be creating our deformers for other part that we are going to use deformers. As you can see, I think we only created deformers for very few places, because you're going to need a lot of deformers in this rig, right? You're going to need a lot of deformers in this rig. There's something wrong when I did a reset. Something wrong, I don't know. Okay, so let me come back here. If I should press reset on this. Yeah, okay, it works. Reset. Alright, so I think that is it. Maybe we would have to create okay, so for bonus, let me just take the back. Sorry, it's supposed to be back behind it. I think that's okay. I think I need the back of this to be behind the waist. So let me find where the back is. So whenever you need to locate something on your node view, just press on it, come to the node view and press O. Once you zoom in, it's just going to take you right there. I think I need this behind the waist. So where's my waist? Well, we're doing a lot of the animation, so we will know how to move it. Because other than that, we would have to move the torso back all the way to the back of the waist. That way, if I should do some curvatures here, it covers. It works too, so you can do that. So let me just, I think it will be best if I should move it to that side. Right, so it does not disturb us. That is a lot of cables coming in from one side. Bring it down a little bit. So I needed to move it. I think I'll let it stay there because I needed to move with the torso front, so I'll need it to stay there. So I can easily add up the waypoints. I can add up a waypoint so I can take it down. Let's see if I can add another waypoint. Sorry, just so I'm going to create another waypoint. I don't want it to be crossing my alright, so now we have that. So that way, if we should have this curvature, we will have right there. Because the shell is not big enough, I don't think even the back was needed, but let it be there. You never know. So in the next one, we are going to do the deformers. Then we'll start working on the lips. The lips is going to take a while because we are going to have to do it for the front lips The happy leaves, the sad leaves, the neutral leaves, the side leaves, happy, sad, neutral, and yeah, the three quarters. Usually I use three quarters for front and back. If for front and three quarters, they're almost the same. Alright, so we'll see you in the next video.